belief in oneself and knowing who you are. I mean, that's the foundation of everything great.
So this is RELLY SWISH. We with DREAAM BASKETBall. Just talked about empowering the youth, the future, things to come. And this is just a little inside look into my life. I hope you enjoy.
A risky business of going against the grain. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. On the head. It's radicals, you know what I'm saying?
What's your dream?
All right, my dream is to be an entrepreneur. Is to own a sports program that's not even a sports program, a sports facility that empowers basketball, football, soccer, lacrosse, hockey, tennis. It'll be a big facility and it'll work on recovery. And then it will show you different aspects of the sports game that you could be a part of, rather the media side, the announcement side, being a coach, being a trainer, being an assistant coach, doing stats. Like there's so many different ways and so many realms that you could be in the NBA. And then I just want people to know that that's something you could be a part of. So that's my dream goal, is to create a brand that could change the world day by day.
At what age were you introduced to the game of basketball?
Well, it's funny because originally I started playing sports when I was 6, and I started playing football. But it was, you had to be...
Oh, so you started playing football before you started?
Yeah, if I was playing basketball, yeah, but you had to be 7 though to play. I was 6. My brother lied for me. He was like, yo, he's 7. He jumped in, started doing jumping jacks. Smallest kid, I was like 4'3", no cap. And then 2nd grade, I started playing. I was playing football again, and then when I hit 3rd grade, that was the decision between basketball and football. I started playing basketball. I was just learning, just shooting, and then like that next year, I didn't go back to football that year, and then I went back to 6th grade because the coach called my mom. The only reason I went. And then I've been playing basketball ever since. High school, I played JV football, and then I played 4 years of varsity basketball. And I would have played varsity football, but basketball and football season intertwined, so that football time into basketball, I couldn't give up my spot, so, because ball was life.
What would you say basketball means to you?
Yo, basketball really mean like everything to me. Like, I was watching a documentary of myself like 3 days ago, and I was just sitting there like watching, like, yo, like I really love basketball. Like, I love the game, like the passion people have for it, like the way people compete or the way people celebrate, the friendships it brings. Like, basketball has like completely changed my life in ways I would never be able to explain, and it's just the best thing. Like, I love it. I just love basketball. That's all I got.
At what point did you transition from playing basketball to going behind the camera?
I bet. So this is interesting too, because originally, so after I left elementary school, I was playing basketball. But when I went to middle school, I went to a middle school called New Tech, Urban Assembly for New Technology. And they told us, like, when I went there, they like, we're gonna give you a laptop, an iPad, just pull up, brand new school, first students to ever graduate from the school. And then like we would do coding, like we would do computer stuff. So like I was always into computers, but the camera part, like I would like hope like do little music videos and stuff, but it was nothing serious until college. And when I was in college, I tore my ACL.
Where did you go to college?
I went to SUNY Delhi. I was up there, and I tore my ACL playing basketball. And when that happened, it was like dang, like my world shattered. Like, basketball is everything to me. So to lose, and for the doctor to tell you you can't do something you love and do every day for a year straight, it's probably one of the hardest words or things you have to process. So it's like I was home for like 3 months, couldn't leave, and then it was like, all right, how can I be part of the game? I love it so much. So it was like I worked at an internship. I'm part-time now. I work at Home Trader Zone. It's a sports armory, and we do teach sports kids. So I'm watching and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, yo, I'm about to just get into film. So now I gotta give credit to my bro Overtime Tay, because he kind of really motivated me to take the action, like what Dream is about, putting action into your dreams. And he, like, I feel like I was telling him that today, like I felt like I was following your blueprint of like how everything went for him. Like, I feel like I got a similar story, and it's just crazy to see where I'm at today, like that, where media has took me with my camera. And another funny thing, that my anniversary of my first basketball mixtape was 2 days ago. For Bryce.
Who was your first?
My first mixtape for is Bryce Simmons. He's a sophomore now at Scanlon. I'm pretty sure he's going to varsity this year, or he probably might stay JV. But Bryce is a very tough, underrated kid in New York City. And I was trying to find kids where they didn't get enough love, but was really talented. Like, I would go to games, and I would be like, all right, whoever had the best game, I'll give them a tape for free. Like, whoever, no matter what I went there for, like, whoever had the best game, you get a tape from me. And that's kind of how I started building myself up, finding kids that way. Until kids started finding me now. Like, I don't even really search for kids. Like, kids hit me up for videos and stuff now. So, facts. So, yeah, shout out to Tato.
What was your top 3 players to do a mixtape for? Your top 3 mixtapes?
My top
favorite that you had the most fun doing, and it was just enjoyable for you.
I bet this is tough because I got some heat. I bet I'm a jack. Dior Davis. I love Dior Davis' game. He played for Mary Bertram. I probably got like 2 mixes for him, like every time. And I feel like I love Dior game because he's quiet, but he'll give you 30. So it's like and he'll shoot, he'll lay, he'll dunk. I like Dior mix. I did a workout mix for Khalil. I like Khalil mix. I liked that mix because I feel like I kind of showed like different cuts, different edits. Use a lot of different transitions that I didn't have before. And my last favorite mix probably have to be I'm gonna give it to Bryce again, just because he was my first mixtape. So I feel like that was just special to me. Like, I never forget. That's the first person I filmed. So yeah, those 3 people as of right now. But I got a lot of unreleased tool that's not out yet that I plan on dropping soon. So check out SWISH VISIONZ for mixes, for sure.
Speaking about kids that don't have mainstream exposure, what kind of advice would you give to them as far as continuing to push through and working at their game and just keeping the dream alive and believing that, one day it's all possible?
That life is rough. Life is going to be tough regardless. Now, your decision is how you're going to approach life. You're going to let it be tough every day, or you're going to attack the toughness. So my advice to every kid is, like, if you want something, keep trying at it. No matter, you're going to always be told no. You're going to tell yourself no. People are going to tell you no. But if you know deep down that's really what you want to do, you have to now, and this is why I love DREAAM BASKETBALL, the idea of a dream, because you have to put that action in. So you could plan, you could write it down, but if you tell yourself, I'm going to wake up at 6:30 a.m. to practice to work out, wake up at 6:30 a.m. to practice and work out. It's kids working out 3 times before 12 p.m. That's grind, that's determination. No matter how small or big they are, there's kids that's really grinding, that really want to work. So you just have to tell yourself, I'm going to work as hard as them. And then at the end, you know that you worked as hard as possible, you could live with the results.
What were some of the things that kept you motivated doing your grind, especially after you tore your ACL? What were some of the things that kept you motivated to stick with basketball and to keep going? Who were some of the people, or what were some of the things that kept you motivated?
So now when you tear, like for me, and I feel like when people tear their ACL, like you join a special group or club, like only certain people could relate. That pain, like that mental strength you have to gain to understand, like, yo, like if I really love this shit, I have to do it. Like I have to keep going. And that's what really, when it first happened, my mindset was like, yo, I'm scared, like I might not be able to walk again, much less play basketball. Like I'm thinking about like how I'm gonna just learn how to step. And then like once I got past that, I'm like, yo, all right, it's possible for me to get back. And once I knew that was a possibility, that I was able to come back on the court, that was my mindset. Like I'm gonna go to rehab every day, physical therapy, I'm gonna work out. I started watching documentaries, like people that tore the ACL in the past, like Derrick Rose, Jabari Parker, athletes like that. So just their stories, they telling them like, this is my life, this is my job. Like if I tear my ACL again, I'll go right back into the weight room and work out to rebuild myself. And that type of motivation, like, stick with me. And you could use that in anything in the world. Like, you apply that motivation, I'm going to just keep grinding. I'm going to get it. That you could do anything.
What do you see happening to the game going forward? Like, because this year we didn't have Dykeman, we didn't have Rucker. Yeah, a lot of major part of New York City basketball didn't happen this summer in 2020.
I could take my hoodie off?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, though, we not having Dykeman though. We not having Dykeman this summer was crazy to me. It didn't even feel like the summer happened without Dykeman basketball. I feel like Dykeman was the epitome of New York basketball. But I feel like it kind of depends on how the NBA moves towards like how they're gonna display the game size and then the craft. And I feel like, and then even from college, because now the G League programs is taken away from NCAA players and the way they train their people. And that's like kind of like more private runs and stuff like that. So it's more secluded and preparing you still for the NBA draft. Like they're all eligible next year. So I feel like people are going down that route. And then it's like, you say that too, it's a lot of Zoom workouts. Like kids is working out remote. So trainers is staying in their place and kids all over the world still working on their game. So there's still ways to get better. Like just because COVID shows like, a lot could happen, but you could still get working. And then New York makes it tough for you because there was a point in time where you took the rims down, you seen somebody in the park, you got in trouble for just trying to be fit, trying to be active. So if you don't have that luxury of you have a basketball hoop in the back of your house, you got to get more craftier, and that's where people were working on their dribbling a lot. So there's other aspects to basketball besides just shooting that you could work on in your spare time to get better. So I feel like just us being from New York, we got to always be tough. People look at us different, so you got to go the extra mile. People think we cocky, so you gotta be able to back yourself up. And that's the thing I feel like New York started to lack was we was cocky, but we wasn't completely prepared to back up everything we was talking. So I feel like it's up to the next generation to kind of bring that back for us.
Earlier in the week, they say they were going to open up back high school sports in the city. They're going to reopen high school sports, I guess, starting on December 7th. The season was supposed to start. Then later on this afternoon, it came back on the news that they're saying that they shut down, I believe Connecticut already shut down all the sports.
Word? I didn't know that.
Yeah, this just happened about an hour or so ago. New York City and Jersey is expected to follow suit, obviously. How do you feel about those kind of measures being taken in light of the whole COVID? And, there's a lot of seniors.
Yeah, and there's
a lot of people that this would have been their breakout year. And
especially because you just see how the seniors last year was affected, that didn't get a chance to finish their season out. So just to see that it's scary, low key. Like, it's like you say, like, how do you see us moving on? It's like, how do we, like, so. And I feel like because you're trying to be safe for everybody, but you still want people to compete and you want fans to be and enjoy the show. So like that's really, I don't know. I now you saying I was under the impression that New York basketball was going to be under just going too. So
no, earlier today I'm looking at it too. I thought it was coming back. They said the December 7th season was going to start.
Yeah,
they were supposed to start practicing like next week or something like that. But then they came back like right before you came. He came back in the news and saying that because of the whole COVID, everything, winter sports is shut down.
And they say everything supposed to spike back up for the winter.
Winter sports is shut down until January, and all the high risk sports like wrestling and all that, they shut down indefinitely right now.
Yeah.
They don't even know.
So even they talked about college sports?
College sport, they was trying to do the bubble thing, remember? They was thinking about that.
I seen that for March Madness, they're going to go to Indianapolis. I kind of read about that this morning.
I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that's going to happen because a lot of the thing with the colleges too, they be having mad breakouts in different schools, and so I don't know how that's going to work out. Yeah. So and that was part of the thing too, again, with the whole one thing I was trying to do too is that, bro, there's no basketball, like, you know what I'm saying? Unless everybody know who you are, and everybody like already, like, you know what I'm saying, like colleagues or certain type of people, like, unless people are looking for you.
Ain't nobody looking for you.
Yo, it's hard right now.
It's real scary.
Like,
and then now that's kind of where I feel like I'm kind of useful now. What we're useful like with media is that like now you kind of need film more than ever.
So let me ask you a question. What role? How do you see Swish Vision making an impact going forward with the change of atmosphere in basketball?
So I got some like real top secret stuff. I don't really want to talk about it. I got some heat coming. So, but like, and then just in the approach that we trying to do it is just like the same way you are, just shining light to people that don't get the light shine on them. Just, my phone is going off, yo. Just bringing that light to them. So I feel like Swish Visions, that's my whole point. I took off my hoodie, but it said I won't be a product of my environment. And that kind of means to me that like I won't be a product of my environment. I'll change my environment. Like I'll change the way we all are, so we all come up together. Because that's the only way we'll get success if the whole group understands that like this is what we have to do to elevate ourselves. And I feel like Swish Visions is bringing that light in multiple ways, and then like certain stuff we're creating on add-ons that I can't bring up yet. Just chill, but. Yeah, though, that's all is like shining light on people that really deserve it, or that don't get that light, that just don't get it. And then that's where I focus on underdogs. Like I love underdogs, kids that. What's your definition of an underdog? My definition of an underdog is somebody who. All right, boom. My definition of underdog is somebody who puts in all the work, but maybe too small, maybe too not be fast enough, or it might like basketball is politics. There's a lot of politics in New York basketball, so a lot of underdogs who grind every time, and then there's kids who don't go hard but they're playing every tournament but just off their name. So my Swish Visions is focused on the kids that don't play as much, but they focus on the game. So I like ISA approach of bringing the game, not your name. So that's what we on. That's a fact. I think a lot of people have names that, they can't really back up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And they get shown out eventually. Right. And then there's kids that's looking for them names that want them. Like, yeah, there's kids that's really working hard and deserve it. I was so crazy because I was watching the Collins. I was watching Colin Saxon versus Trey Duvall in high school. And I remember when I first watched that game, I was talking about it like, I'm watching Colin Saxon hoop, and I'm like, yo, who is this kid? Like, yo, this kid is playing the best game of his life. Like, he's wilding. He's going against mad D1 talents, and it's just funny looking at him back now. In hindsight, Colin Saxon was a lottery pick. Trey Duvall didn't even get drafted. Yeah. And he was the number one point guard in high school, and he didn't even get drafted. And I just show you, like, and that his energy that game just kind of spoke to me, like, the way he won, and, like, no matter his team was losing, I think they lost that game still. But, like, he just like, yo, it's just you and me. Like, you gotta hoop. Like, he kept screaming, like, you gotta hoop. And that's the difference between the ones and the ones that don't stick it up. But it's always like that. Because you gotta have heart. You gotta have heart to survive in this game. That's a fact. 10, 15, 20 years from now, what kind of impact do you see yourself leaving on the game of basketball and on sports itself? That's a good question. I feel like the impact that Swish Visions will leave on sports is something I kind of think about every day. And that's why I say, like, I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, Swish Visions is something I created. And it's not for me. I created it with the goal of hoping people around me be successful, giving them something to do, giving them motivation or purpose, as in, like, to motivate the youth. And then, like, so that's what I'm saying. I feel like Swish Visions is, I kind of might, like, once there's some top secret stuff, but, like, and then I want, the facility is the most important part. I feel like Swish Visions is going to come to, like, that facility of housing everything and making it in-house and, like, just creating from within. So, like, generation kids from, like, 6th, 7th grade, 5th grade just keep building up, and just, it'll be a cycle, a pipeline creating. So even, like, I kind of coach too. So I'm working on, I got a team sponsored by Cat. It's another top secret out in Queensbridge. And we doing, what age group? We're doing from 12 to 16. Brand new team. It's called Swish Shooters, Swish and Hoops. I think something like that. Like, names is under. But we a brand new team out of Queensbridge for kids. We got basketball. We got dance, and we got track and field. So that's another part, just connecting to our lower income communities and just letting them know, like, there's activities you could do. Because I feel like for me, I was blessed enough to be in constantly programmed. So, like, I was never wondering, like, yo, what should I do with my time? Like, if I wasn't doing basketball, I was doing football. Like, my mom always had me in a camp. Like, I was in some type of camp, basketball camp, sports camp, computer camp, chess camp. Like, I was in camps. So, and then just having, and that's why I know what I like and what I don't like. And a lot of kids don't know what they don't like or what they do like because they never experienced it. So giving the kids to be able to experience certain things is the most important thing, to know that you could do so much more than the block you live on. And that's what I want Swish Visions to do, is to let you know that you can impact the world. Facts.
When did you join Overtime, and how did that impact your visual career?
All right, so it's another funny story about Overtime. So how I joined Overtime originally, once again, shout out to Overtime Tay, shout out to my guy, him, Ali, and Axel. It started off as originally I did the Overtime challenge with Nate Robinson. I remember Tay called me, and I didn't even go to school that day. I didn't go to class that day, college class. He was like, yo, you want to be a part of it? And I was like, word. So I went down there. It was at Lifetime. We did the, I was down there he called me like at 9 a.m. I probably got there like at 11. We was from 11 to 4 shooting. And I was just learning like the behind the scenes of how they do it. Because I was always curious to see like how they make the show. And then I got to meet Nate Robinson. And then we did that. And that was cool. And then that got on YouTube. And then, but I wasn't part of Overtime at the time. I was just cool with them. And then we did a giveaway. Overtime did a giveaway. I signed up for that. Won the giveaway. They gave me some more gear. And then we did another giveaway. And then it was like, that giveaway was to be on a billboard or to visit the Inside Studio. So when that happened, I didn't win the billboard, but I got to visit the studio. But even though I've been there though, they let me come back again. So when that happened, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a little more proactive this time. So I was like, let them know like what I was doing. So, and then I that's why I became a shooter for them, just to catch games. And my first shoot for them was with Mel. I did Mel game. He had like 30. Team won by 30. And then after that, after I was a shooter, I was doing shooting for them. And then COVID hit. When COVID hit, it kind of opened a new opportunity. We had a captains club, so like Overtime captains, and that's just like creating peace and like positivity for youth on social media, like just being active, just letting those stay positive, constantly grind, never give up. So then we started doing that. Ali introduced me to that, to be part of captain, and then that kind of like took off with me too, because then like I became way more social. Like now my job is to constantly be in the comments, constantly talk to fans. So fans are DMing me like, can you like my video? Can you show support? Or like, do you have any ideas? So like Overtime instantly gave me a way bigger platform to connect to the world. Like, and I appreciate Overtime for that. Just being able to talk to the kids and like letting them know like somebody like you can do something you want. Like kids always ask me, can I be part of Overtime? And like Overtime is even having openings right now, like people could be a part of, where you could try and see where you fit in, because Overtime is something like, not to say I want to like follow their plea, but like Overtime has a platform for the youth of multiple fronts. Like they have shows, you have behind the scenes stuff, they got VIP clubs, we got camps. Like Overtime is not like, that's what makes us different from any other type of sports company, is that we interact with the youth on a different route. Like it's constantly about empowering the youth. So, and that's what I'm so big on too, is empowering the youth. So that me and Overtime was able to do that together is amazing. Like, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity. And then like I get into so many places now, so many more people contact me, so many people follow me now. Like it's crazy, like just from being part of Overtime. And it's sad because I honestly feel like I'd be like a little bigger if COVID didn't hit, because it's not that many games to go to as much. Like there was no Dykeman this summer, there was no Tri-State, so all the events. And then we didn't even have our takeover event last year. We had like the top 15 players in the nation come. We couldn't do it that this year. So it's just like, so now it kind of makes us creative at Overtime to figure out how we still gonna connect with our fans and connect with the youth. So like we've been real big on Zoom calls. And then a lot of people don't know that Kevin Durant is he's a investor in Overtime. So like he makes a lot of connections for people too with the NBA. That they just had the boardroom. It was Adam Silver, Kevin Durant, Steve Nash, so many big people and corporations where young kids were able to speak to and ask real questions of like idols and real world stuff. So that's something that we provide that I feel like a lot of people don't provide, and something I would like to continue to provide in the future. Yeah. My name RELLY SWISH. My IG OVERTIME RELLY. I got a media page, SWISH VISIONZ, and this is DREAAM BASKETBALL.